Alrighty, it has been a few days since I picked up the camera on the old RMK here. I've gotten a lot done in the last few days since I picked up the camera last, so let's check out what I've done, I suppose. So basically everything is mocked up in here. I got the exhaust all in it, got all the springs situated for that. I was able to actually go buy some new ones that fit it. Got a couple in here that actually hold the can in place, so all of this is now nice and solid, not flopping around, so it's no longer just gonna, you know, melt out the whole entire bottom of here like it was doing before because it wasn't held in. Got the Brembo all finished up. It's all mounted in there, bled, working nicely. Well, you know, it feels like it's working nicely. I can't ride it yet to know, but and the seat bracket is all painted up and mounted and finished, so that is cool. The black just blends right in. It's kind of hard to see it in here, but the thing just is cool. So it is down to the wiring. The wiring is the only part that I need to go through now to get this thing to run. So it's time to start fixing this squatched, locked, multi-pinned, cobbled together wiring harness. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. Hopefully I can knock this out here this afternoon or today and tomorrow, see what it gets into. Hopefully it doesn't entail going too far down the rabbit hole. I luckily have another wiring harness over here. It's a slightly different harness. It doesn't quite match, but I can at least cut it up and use different parts of it for making my harness nice. So yeah, that is my plan for the most part. Start splicing these two harnesses together where I need to splice them together and go from there. It's mainly like all these handlebar controls that are, you know, like this, and has that in there and ends cut off. And I think these are like all the hand warmer, key voltage regulator stuff right here. And yeah, it's a mess. So luckily I found some wiring diagrams yesterday, so I'm gonna go through those and just kind of compare stuff and put together and see what we can come up with out of this and hopefully make it work. That is obviously the goal. So keep checking in as we make some progress here, but hopefully in the next couple of days we might hear this thing live. Would be really cool. I have made some pretty good progress. I've got, this here is the whole headlight assembly, gauge cluster assembly. That is all done and loomed. I got my brake and tail light assembly all figured out, and then I've been sitting here at the meter going through off the main plug from the stator. I've got main powers, the stuff figured out here that are just, you know, get off of there. So I've got my main powers here that are figured out. One of them's dead because one of them leads into the brake circuit, so I gotta figure out where to power that into, which is what the wiring diagrams are gonna come in handy for. And then I got all of this right here, if I can get that loose. So we got the chassis ground, and then the rest of this here is all hand warmer controls. And then we have what runs up to our handlebars, which is still just awful. So I'm at a point where I'm debating if I should put it in the chassis and start stringing it through a little bit to start figuring out where things need to be so I don't actually make things too long and whatnot and get out of proportion. So I'm gonna go out here and compare it to my other Indy and kind of see through the fog of the window. That's just a 488 fanner, but I'm gonna go see how its wiring harnesses run just to get an idea of how to run this one so that it can be close to factory, because I took this apart a year ago. I do not remember how this wiring harness is run through, and I'd like to have it somewhat close to how it should be. So that is my plan. Gonna keep moving forward and see what we got to do. That's everything we've taken out of it so far, plus this. That was the old taillight section. So that's everything that I've cut out of it and redone. And luckily I have this harness that's coming in handy for it, so yep, gonna keep trucking along here and let you know where I'm at once I've made some more progress on it. Starting to get things kind of thrown together in here. I've had it in and out a couple of times, reconfiguring things, realizing I didn't understand some of it, so I took it out again, took more loom off for all the handlebar related stuff, and kind of been getting that all sorted out. And my biggest debate now has mainly just been handlebar warmers. Do I want to try and make these work? I have all the ends from all the Skidoo stuff in these bars, and I'm trying different things, and it's like I'm not getting any resistance between any of the stuff for the actual hand warmers. The thumb warmer, I get some resistance between some of the wires. So it's like it's got me over here overthinking things, wondering things. Need to do some actual research on the Skidoo side of things rather than my Polaris harness. So a part of me is just debating on taking that out. It's very easy to add on later on if I want to. I'm more concerned about just kind of getting this thing up and going right now. So I mean, hand warmers to me are very minimal, detailed, minor. I personally have only had, I think, one sled that had working hand warmers in my life. So I'm not overly concerned about it. Actually, I think I have two at the moment. I know the purple wedge out there. I know that one has working hand warmers, and my Skidoo revs are kind of back and forth on working. So I know I for sure have one sled that works. But anyway, I'm not overly concerned about it. So I'm in the debate of just taking that out of the harness right now in general, but we'll see. There's just a lot of fuckery, odds and ends, things that I'm just debating on what I want to do with. It's just, I don't know. I want it to look nice, and I don't want to burn this thing to the ground, and that's the only reason why I'm concerned about using wiring and hand warmers. That's the only thing that I feel like I could burn this thing to the ground wiring up. So yeah, not too sure. Like I said, I'm going to do some research on the Skidoo side of things, but for now I'm going to start laying this out in here without hand warmers and go from there. So let you know where I'm at when I make more progress, of course. Well, it has been a very productive day on this wiring harness. I've gotten it all routed through. On the back side of here, voltage regulator is all hooked up. This here is all my hand warmer wiring that I'm just leaving there to contemplate with. Then I got all of it routed up along the front here, up to here. That'll go up into the hood for the gauges and whatnot. And then all that's left is the wiring for the handlebars. I'm probably gonna be cutting this off a lot shorter just because this has pigtails and whatnot of what I'm gonna be using. So yeah, gonna cut those off shorter and work with it from there, but see what happens. I'm gonna call it a night for now, jump into it tomorrow, and there is a chance we might hear this thing run tomorrow. Not gonna push it, but there's a chance. Would be very cool. I gotta take the seat and the bracket and the gas tank off one more time. While the gas tank's off, I'm going to drain all what's left of the gas in it, because I honestly didn't even, I thought I did that, but looking at it the other day, there's still some gas in it. So drain all the gas out of it and put some fresh gas in it. Make sure I mix some oil into it, because we don't really know how this is going to catch prime. So I want to be safe, make sure we don't blow it up. So we'll mix the gas when we put in our first tank, and yeah, this thing is just extremely close. Crazy to think. So very exciting. See what happens tomorrow. We might be able to see it run. It has been another very productive day. We are in the home stretch of the wiring. I am basically down to the point of I got to take off the whole rear seat bracket one more time and the gas tank. I'm going to drain what's left of any little gas in the tank because there's still some in it that I forgot about. I thought I drained it last year, but I didn't. Minor details, so we're going to get that dumped out, get the taillight wiring run all the way to the back, and then finish hooking up the fuel lines in between the shutoff and the pump. So get that all sorted, but the wiring is basically all done. This here is oil level, and these here are just hand control stuff or hand warmer stuff that I'm gonna just put off to the side for now until I figure out what I'm doing with that. Got my tether all wired up and made a bracket for it to sit right in the middle of the handlebars there, so that'll be nice. And yeah, all the handlebar wiring nicely run up the side here, and then I kind of just hid all of it inside of the bar cover there, so figured that was kind of nice, hides everything, makes it look nice and sleek. So then we got all of our hood accessory wiring there, so we are very close. Picked myself up some fresh gas for it, so ready to go. I will be mixing the gas for the first start here and maybe the first couple tanks just until I confirm that the oil injection's working. So yeah, I'm just going to keep plugging along here on the last little odds and ends I got, and probably be catching back up with you when we're ready to fire this thing up, or attempt to fire this thing up. So we're going to see what happens.
Drink up!
Jeez, Brandon. Alrighty, I think the RMK is to a point where we are ready to start it. Got the CDI box and coil just laid up to here. We just confirmed that we do have spark, so I've done something right with the wiring harness, that aspect is working. Got it all run out to the back. I just had the whole seat and gas tank off, got all the old gas drained out of the tank, and got some fresh gas mixed up with some oil for it, and yeah, we are ready to start pulling on this thing and see what the hell happens. Currently do not have a belt or secondary clutch on it, so don't really got to worry about lifting up the back end, and just don't want to rev it too much. So see what happens here. Either she's going to take a lot to get going, or she's going to fire up pretty good here. It either way has to get prime for the gas into the carbs, so that might take a little bit of pulling to get done, but we'll see what happens here. Let's see. You like my...
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's just portable. Well, I don't have the hood yet, so... But if I'm starting it, I'm making sure all this works. I already know it's going to if it actually is wired correctly. If anything I tested with my power probe was a lie, then we'll find out really quickly.
It's fine.
But I powered everything up with the power probe last night, so should be good. And I've been going through with the meter and going through and resistance checking all the wires, making sure every wire goes where it's supposed to. So.
Making sure the wires.
I'd be amazed. So I wish I had one clear fuel line to know if it didn't get fuel up to it. Let's see. There's supposed to be fuel lines in between here, isn't there?
Vent for overflow.
That's fair. It'll be good for now.
Just spill out the fan, it's fine.
If it overflows, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
If it overflows, then that's how you know you have gas.
Yeah. Oh, these had a little bit of like residual. It's kind of just hold.
I'll just keep on that
Yeah. You better. Okay. Still a choker. Okay, so it does not shut off by my kill switches. Damn it. I gotta figure that out, but.
That's awesome though.
It runs! Yeah! Alrighty. Well, very exciting. This thing runs, but as you've seen, it did not shut off. After a couple minutes of thinking about it and staring at a wiring diagram, I realized that there's a black wire with a white tracer that comes out of the CDI box that I was supposed to hook it up to. But in the wiring diagram, it's a very short bit of it, and they only label it in one spot, and then it immediately goes to a black wire. So I wired it up to the black and brown because that's how it is, you know, set up out of from the rest of the harness forward. But that is wrong. I got to rewire it onto this black and white wire, and we just confirmed that it works. So get that all finished up and thing will be good to go. Just got to wait for the airbox to come in and close to riding it real soon here.